Ahead and get this party started because we've got there's 10 people here, and I have a special guest. Stephen Cambian is on the show with me tonight, so I'm really happy to have him. I'm going to bring him on. I'm going to start off right now. I'm going to add him to the stream. So hey Stephen.
Man, I really started my career like in such a great place, Tere Joyce. Like I was on television and like big shows, and now I'm here. So
what do you say? Like a downtrodden?
Yeah, kind of a no, just busting your balls. I'm happy to be here. We're gonna look at this. We're going to look at crazy Kerry Cassidy. By the way, I apologize. I left my headphones at the cabin, like 2 pairs of really good headphones. And all I could find were these. So, but I can hear you. If you can hear me, we'll be okay.
I can hear you. And you know what? I even forgot my headphones. Like, I don't even have headphones right now. So,
well, I feel like a lot less of a slacker than you then, because at least I found something to get through this totally professional show you do here.
Hey, I'm a professional on YouTube. So
that just means that you couldn't find a real job, Tere Joyce. That's what that means. I say that too. I'm a professional content creator, and people say, "Really? What does that mean?" I said, "It means that nobody would give me a real job, so I have to beg for money on the internet and make videos to survive." Well, but I have another business, but that's not doing too good since the pandemic either. So,
And so tell us the other business. What's the other business that you have?
Well, it's supposed to be a technology company, and I originally started it to sell, like software products and different things, but then it all kind of fell apart, and I fell into just doing like managed service. Like if you have a small business and you need a computer guy, but you don't want to have a full-time guy, then I come in and do whatever. It's kind of boring, but it pays my bills, which is a good thing to have. Like I don't want to be a full-time YouTube person, because if you've ever noticed the people that do this stuff full-time, they kind of turn slimy,
Do you think? I mean,
yeah, I mean, if you gotta sell stories about aliens to eat this week, you're gonna do any slimy thing that you know. Oh, story's fake. Who cares? Just push it. You know, maybe they won't know it's fake, or you know, these people that do this full time, largely, I think, are pretty slimy people. You know, they're pretty fast and loose with the situations in order to sell. Constantly have new stories to sell. If you have an income to pay your bills and the show would just show income, then I think you're in a much better position and not turn into a dirtball. You know?
Yeah, but you know, Stephen, you're busting the phonies. So, you know,
yeah, I mean, but
you're coming from a different place.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, if I had no other income, I might start taking shortcuts or taking risks and, you know, accusing people of things without adequate evidence, or you never know. But it like this Tere Joyce, not Tere Joyce, that's you.
Yeah.
Kerry, I get blonde.
Cassidy.
I don't know why, but I always get blonde women confused. You know, not that anyway. Kerry Cassidy is the perfect.
We all look the same, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like an archetype, a blonde chick. Anyway, Kerry Cassidy is the perfect example. This woman hasn't had a real job in like 20 years. And she sells all kinds of nonsensical lies. Like, you know, she's always she's on a cute grift, and you know, Donald Trump is still the president, you know.
It's going to be in this video. I'm just so everybody knows. I'm sharing.
This woman is ridiculous. This woman is ridiculous.
Yeah. I almost regurgitated when I watched it. I nearly
I haven't seen this.
My first time through.
This will be fun. I have not seen this yet, and I might steal this from you for our wackadoo of the week segment. Depends on how wacky she gets.
Oh, this is it. Hey, we'll talk about it later. I mean, after we watch it, but you know, I think this is pretty wackadoo. And the title of this here, maybe I should just go ahead and share it. And by the way, shout out to my Facebook friends, because this is running on Facebook at the same time. And by the way, did you know that I'm actually a digital creator on Facebook? If you go on my are you a digital creator yet, Stephen?
No, and I've been broadcasting on Facebook for 3 years. So how did you get that? And they didn't give it to me, you bitch.
Well, you know, I don't know.
Did they give you any money or anything? Like, because I've just been
on Facebook, on my videos. Matter of fact, this video right now, anybody can give me stars, Facebook stars. Like I think like 200 stars is like $1.99. So like,
well, why can't I get some money then?
I don't know. You know, you should. I forgot how it happened. I think I saw the program and I applied for it or something.
God damn it. You're praising the cash on Facebook and I'm not getting any cash on Facebook. So I got to talk to Mark Zuckerberg. And if Elon Musk doesn't beat the shit out of him in that cage match, I will. I want my $2, you know?
Well, now I have a regular job too. I mean, I actually tutor biology, anthropology. I know it's kind of surprising. Sort of off the beaten path for me, but
somebody lets you tutor people.
Yes.
Are you really? Are you serious?
Yeah. I've got a whole. I'm doing it right now for summer school. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I tutored people in math in college, so.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah, because you know, like you know, as soon as math gets into the symbols and numbers and letters, people get real confused. And computer science, which is what I was taking, is very math focused. So that stuff came pretty easy for me. And it was an easy gig. I just hung out in the library, you know, like on the weekends and whatever, and people would come. It was easy. I liked it.
I'm not good at math. So tutoring anthropology in the sciences is probably about all I should go.
Oh yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting. I find the topic really, I mean, I like anthropology. Matter of fact, I'm going to take anthropology too. So, yeah. Yeah,
I think that's a very interesting subject because it deals with human origins and where we came from.
Oh, it does. It's all about us.
It's definitely, I'm interested in that too. And I love those like monkey men, you know, like the the pre-humans, all
Oh,
of them.
yeah,
I love
hominid.
that stuff.
Yeah.
I love all that stuff. You see, like, look, it's a half a man, half a gorilla. You know, like those are pretty interesting people, creatures.
Well, you know, we have there's a percentage of us having Neanderthal DNA. Because we screwed some Neanderthals. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was definitely interspecies sex going on, and a lot of people, they originally, I think they originally thought the Neanderthals like went extinct, but the reality is that we bred out their genome essentially. Like there was more Homo sapiens than Neanderthal, and then we started interbreeding with them, so there's a little Neanderthal in us, but we bred them. Yeah, we took all their bitches essentially. That's what happened. Yeah.
See, I was thinking the other way around. You know, I was thinking of some, you know, like there was a modern human that got some Neanderthal chooch. You know.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna start to share this video and get the show on the road here. This was now I had done a live stream. It's up on my Rumble. Stephen D. Kelly, who has the Occupy the Getty, the Kids Under the Getty guy, who also claims to be a super soldier and a Jedi warrior, was very upset.
Wait, he's a Jedi warrior?
You don't know this yet? Yes. He claims to be a Jedi warrior. And people save the children under the Getty in the astral plane. They're doing it psychically at night when they sleep, and they don't remember when they wake up. So how
I love all these save the children people. A lot of people don't know this, but just for a little bit of background, Kerry Cassidy is one of those save the children and the mole children thing, and the children are being trafficked and children are being abused and adrenochrome harvesting and all of this nonsense, right?
Oh, we're gonna get to it. Yeah.
But at the same time, she uses child-related sexual predators as sources for her stories.
That's right.
Somebody needs to explain the major discrepancy here. If you really cared about children, why would you be using, you know, Chester, the Uncle Chester, who's a convicted kitty toucher? You know, by the way, just so you know, YouTube doesn't like that P word, so I try to avoid it. You know, but she definitely 100% has used child-related predators as sources for her stories, including Bill Brockbrader and others, who's also a fake Navy SEAL, I think. So there's that.
We have a pretty active chat tonight. We got Seren1 saying hello to both of us. So
yeah, I told her we just finished our premiere of our Sarah Adams medbed story, and I told everybody to come over here. So let's hope they do.
No, I noticed that in the thumbnail for the live stream that Sarah had blonde hair. Has she gone blonde now, or was that just a temporary?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, you know, honestly, the thumbnail, I can't remember. Oh, I do remember. The original thumbnail for that story only had Pete and Roxy in it, and since so many people seem to be more interested in Sarah, and she was a huge part of that medbed story. Essentially, Sarah would sell people on getting the medbed session, and then these other people, Pete and Roxy, would do the service, which amounts to nothing, because they say they're going to take you through a Stargate up to a spaceship and all this stuff and put you in the medbed, and then it turns out it's just a Skype session, so there is no medbed. But the original thumbnail didn't have her in it, and so I wanted to include her since she's a huge part of the story, and it's kind of a series on Sarah and all the various scams. So I just Googled and found that picture of her and jammed it in there. So maybe she's blonde now. Who knows?
You know, I somewhere I have the footage. I think it sent it to you when you first started talking about Sarah, and her and Taj were posting that they had essential oils for COVID before the vaccination was created.
Yeah, and it's not only that, but it was essentially essentially it was supposed to be, what are those cures called? Those kind of medicines that anyway, it contained the virus according to them. Yeah. Holistic. That's what it was. Yeah. So basically, a holistic cure cures you by giving. I don't understand this, but so she was going to do that, and then she got shut down for that. She admitted or the manager admitted that they got shut down. They couldn't sell that. So they didn't sell it. They advertised it, but then they never shipped any. But they were willing to if they could get away with it, which is crazy that they're just going to ship coronavirus around to people to protect you from coronavirus.
Yeah, I don't know if it was on Facebook or social media, but I called them out on them saying that it was taken from the real virus. And and then after that they quickly changed the narrative of it a little bit, but then I somewhere I had the original social media.
Oh, if you do have that, send it to me, because I'll
okay.
do
I gotta
something
find it again,
because that's just one more scam that she was involved in.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know this, but I took those videos down, and it was at a time that I was extremely busy. I had a lot going on. And so arrived by FedEx in my door was this very threatening lawyer letter, or so I thought. And the letter essentially said, oh, you're slandering her. You need to take those videos down, or we're going to take legal action. And I said, well, I'll take them down for now, and then I'll look into this lawyer. I called the lawyer, and then I said, where are you admitted to practice law? And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, what state do you practice law in? And then he said, oh, I'm not admitted to practice law. And I'm like, so you're sending me a legal threat letter and you're not a lawyer? And then he said, well, I do have a law degree. I'm like, well, congratulations, but you can't sue me in my home state if you're not, So I meant back then to just put the videos back up, because this is an empty threat by a fake lawyer that turns out to be just like one of her simps, some guy that, really wants to get with her. She's got a lot of those guys. And, but he wasn't a real lawyer. So I meant to put them back like a few months after that happened, but I just got so busy that I forgot about it. And then we started saying we're going to air some sort of reruns or classic episodes. And I remembered that I have like 10 of those episodes all about her that I took down, and nobody's seen them for years. So we're putting them back.
Well, it's refreshing to see them over again. And it's really, because Sarah was always bragging about her lawyer, and her lawyer was going to do this and that to people. And then to come to find out he's not really practicing. No.
So in other words, he's some guy who did have a law degree, but he never, he wasn't.
Did he pass the bar? Does that mean that,
apparently not. You have to pass the bar to be admitted to practice law in any state in the country. And I checked and he wasn't admitted to practice in any state. So he's just some guy with a law degree that really likes Sarah. I guess he wants to bang her, or, whatever. So he's like, oh, I'll protect you. I'll send this guy a letter and threaten him for you. And, that shouldn't even be legal. If you're not a lawyer, you shouldn't be able to send threats of lawsuits to somebody, Yeah. Because you can't even sue somebody. But, it is what it is. And since then, I have found that there's a very strong journalist shield law in the state that I live in. So if they tried anything like that, it would take them 3 years to just get it into a courtroom. I say good luck. I'll represent myself. And I would wipe the floor with her and whatever, even if she got a real lawyer. Because I would just simply say, all we said in my reports were her superpowers are fake and she can't open stargates and the med beds aren't real. So in order to prove that I slandered her, she would have to show everybody all her superpowers are real, show everybody a stargate, and show everybody a med bed and going through a stargate. You know what I mean? It's just so ridiculous. Like, I'm confident that any jury in America would listen to my side of the story and hers and decide that there's no slander here. You have to... Yeah, and then she'd have to prove damages. It's like the whole thing is so stupid. Like, all I did was I tested her superpowers. And for those that don't know, she claimed that she could heal people. I sent her a fake cancer patient. She told the guy she was shrinking his cancer cells. And he didn't have cancer. And she's supposed to know that, like with her superpowers. But she didn't know that I punked her. And I just sent her one of my magician friends who's also a mentalist and a hypnotist. And he agreed with me that she was using hypnotic induction techniques and word salad nonsense and cold reading. She had no superpowers. So, but people like to throw threats around and people love that. You're slandering me. That's slander. Not if it's true.
Right. Yeah.
It's not slander if it's true. Prove me wrong. Show me a Stargate, Sarah. Show me your superpower. Show me the goddamn medbed. And we have another episode coming up where her and that guy Arcturus Ra made a medbed out of a tanning bed that they glued magnets and shit in, and they were going to put people in that. But I'm very disappointed. I checked this Pete and Roxy website. They're still selling those medbed sessions where they take you through a Stargate and everything. So I'm going to follow up with that with Australian law enforcement, because those two kind of cut ties with Sarah, and now they're just doing it themselves. But they live in Australia, and I'm pretty sure with the promises that they're telling people that that's illegal. You can't tell people, I'm going to take you through a Stargate, up to a spaceship. You're going to meet the extraterrestrials. We're going to put you in a med bed. And then in the fine print, this is just a Skype session. You know what I mean? Like, no, you can't get away with that. You can't. But well, I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna find out exactly where they live. I'm gonna call their local law enforcement and local prosecutor. I'm gonna show them what they're doing, and I want to on the record comment: how come this is legal? Explain to me why these people are able to do this, and shouldn't they have to give every dollar they got from people selling this service back because they can't prove that they did the service that they're offering?
It's really sad. It's just really because you're dealing with sick people. And
they're taking advantage of sick, desperate people. It is just absolutely ridiculous. And I can't prove it, but I think that part of their scam was to put a bunch of people on Rumble and BitChute and the ghettos of the internet, Telegram, saying, oh, med beds, they can regrow limbs, they can cure cancer, you can age regress yourself 40 years. They didn't do that, but right around the time they started this scam, all of a sudden there was like all of these videos telling everybody that med beds can cure anything that ails you. Not them, but other people that nobody's ever seen before. So it made me believe that they intentionally put this whole thing together, flood the internet with stuff about med beds, then offer med bed sessions. I could be wrong, however, on that, but that's my speculation based on like a lot of investigation into the situation. And of course, Pete and Roxy would not comment, and neither would Sarah, on the legality or the ethics or morality of what they were doing. I know for a fact that they took that off their website for a while, but I guess the heat went away when the videos were no longer on the internet of me covering this. So they started selling them the medbed sessions again. And so now I'm going to have to follow up to see if there's anything we can do to stop them from continuing this.
It's unbelievable. Really, seriously. All right, so let's get started on the on the
on to crazy Kerry Cassidy.
Yeah, I mean, this is entertaining. Okay, here we go.
Fair use.
Fair use. Oh, that's right. Thank you. Let me do my banter.
Come on, journalism student.
I know. Fair use. We are critiquing the video and educating the public. Here's my little banner here. Okay, here we go. Fair use. This is on Rumble, and this was the Truth Tour. This took place in San Diego recently.
I like your banner. What did you do? Just copy mine? God damn, lady. Dude, everybody did. There's so many shows that have my banner now. It's good, though. I'm good. I like fair use. I'm a big supporter of fair use. Good. Let's
I saw your banner like years ago, like when you first came out. Like, oh, that's
look
good.
at her.
I just copied it.
Screw big government on Telegram now. She can't even be on Twitter, I don't think, because she's too wacky. So all the nutters are on Telegram.
Yeah. So so here we go. I'm gonna get this started.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tweet. A
lot of my colleagues have been brought.
Beginning. I gotta start this over again. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Our very first person to come.
I love this dude's outfit. Okay, so he's got like there's a whole like thing going on.
You look like a Charlie Brown shirt, right?
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
And wait till you see the audience. The audience looks like they're at a Trump convention. I know this sounds insulting to me, but insulting to say. But it does kind of look that way. And but here, and you notice that they have like the Space Force, the space flag over here with the American flag. And then as we go, you're going to see a honey bear that's going to pop up for sale. That's a honey thing, dispenser with Trump's face on it. So look out.
I love it. I love it. Okay. I'm gonna tweet out your show one more time. So
okay, thanks.
Let people know that I'm here.
Here we go.
Share today is a person who's been around for a long time. They've been fighting this fight for over 18 years. Because this thing didn't just start, in 2020 when the election got sold, right? This has been going on for a while. So, but the person I'll bring up here, she's got started Project Camelot.
I mean, like, she's like a celebrity, okay? They're like, woo!
Yeah, well, among wackadoos, yeah, she's very, very well received.
I'm just wondering, what happened to... Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
She's like the head wackadoo.
Yeah, it's like, what happened to San Diego?
She's done all kinds, interviews, disclosure. The one thing I love about this person is that she gives 0 Fs, right? She's got a strong personality. She doesn't care what other people think. She just wants the truth. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah, she doesn't care about what other people think.
And she just wants the truth. Unless you ask her why she's using convicted child predators or murderers for sources for her stories, and then she loses her mind, man. She will lose her mind if you confront her with the actual truth. She's not... I love this truther thing, right? She's a truther. Then why is she using murderers to sell fake stories? This Mark Richards nonsense and whatever.
It's an insult to call yourself a truther when you're peddling this. And it's insulting to hear, like, oh, this is the truth media. Like, oh, I'm in the truth media. Well, that basically means I'm in the media that's not truth. Nobody
look, even if this is called a truth tour. So let's get her up here and see how many times she lies while she's at an event called the Truth Tour. This is wonderful.
I said it before. I just want the truth, good, bad, or indifferent. Don't blow smoke up my ass. I'm sick and tired of that. That's been happening our whole lives.
Yeah,
so it's tell me the truth. If something's broke, if it's bad news, hey, let's deal with it. Right? We can get through it, but don't just So I'm super excited to bring up to the Truth Tour stage first sharer, presenter, speaker today, the lovely Miss Kerry Cassidy. Give it up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
There's one person standing up and clapping.
No, there's even more people. Yeah, wait till you...
She can barely walk up the steps. She's so old and decrepit. Like, he's got to help her, Oh, look, she's getting a bunch of people to stand up.
I know, yeah.
We like your fairy tales from murderers.
Okay, so we're going to have technical difficulties. See, look at this honey bear thing. MakeHoneyGreatAgain.com. And it's Trump's face.
That's amazing.
I
wish I would have thought of that shit. Yeah. She does this a lot. She can't just use the microphone everybody uses. She's got to have her own, right?
Right.
But she can't work it because she's a boomer,
Is it okay? That works. Okay. Well, I don't think I can. Sorry. I know I'm not supposed to be messing this up.
You're doing fine. Also, like, she's going to say it a little bit in a moment here, but she didn't know she was first. So she's kind of coming up and not exact. She's a little bit discombobulated.
All right.
Boomer.
Okay. But you know me, always a rebel. I can't go, I don't play by the rules. Okay. All right.
That's the part that bothers me. Like she's I'm a rebel. I don't play by the rules.
I'm already bothered because here's the thing. If you're going to be a public speaker, learn to work a goddamn microphone. This is amateur hour nonsense, And I get it. Like things like that happen at live events, but come on. Like this is so stupid. Yeah, let's see what she says. We got to get to what kind of, she's going to give a crazy talk. I know it.
My PowerPoint kind of thing. I don't have that either. I should have brought my computer. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be the first speaker, I swear to God. I need to run upstairs and get my computer. I'm not sure what to do. Louis, I thought you were giving a lecture. Where the hell are you? Can you pitch it while I get my computer so I know what I'm talking about here? I could talk about all kinds of things, right?
How does she not know she's going to? How did they not have it organized to where she didn't know when she was going to go on, and the people like wasn't there a list or anything like that? Like she's. I don't get that part.
They were probably all too busy at the bar before the talking part started. You know.
Well, this is supposed to be morning, but so here we go.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, this is going to be a challenge. All right. Well, okay. So the bottom line is...
it's not a challenge because she's good at bullshit. So here we go.
Yeah.
It's called the adrenochrome highway.
There we go.
All right. I want you to learn this term because I made it up. Adrenochrome highway.
No, that she did not make up the term adrenochrome.
Right?
No, she did not make up the term adrenochrome. Oh, she made up the term adrenochrome highway.
Highway, okay. Yeah. She made that up.
What we're talking about, okay? Yeah. All over the planet. And this is making more money than guns, gun running, centuries-old gun running, right? And the other is drugs, right? Human trafficking is the worst problem on our planet right now. Okay? And especially...
Okay, but let's look at this. Let's think about this for a minute. What a perfect time to say something like that and kind of push it because of the movie that just came out, right? I mean,
but what is so disingenuous and dishonest about this? And remember, it's called the Truth Tour. Is that this woman is going to get up in front of people and talk about child trafficking and children being abused and adrenochrome harvesting, and meanwhile. This woman literally uses child-related kitty toucher predators, some of which were like court-martialed, some of which were convicted to sell her stories. So maybe she should, this is the Truth Tour. Somebody should be standing next to her like me or you who can mute her microphone and go, before we listen to her talk about child abuse, know that her sources are child abusers.
Right.
And murderers.
Yeah.
One of her sources, convinced a couple of kids really to smash somebody's head in with a baseball bat. Like, this is ridiculous. All right, let's.
And she's going to equate the trafficking to aliens too. I mean, just look at this right here. So she's taking this topic and then adding lies on top of it, which is a disservice to the actual topic.
Yeah,
but that's my problem really with her is that in all of these guys is they take it and they whatever might be true about something, they take it and they make it so outlandish that it's not true. So
yeah, one little grain of truth
use and abuse.
Oh wait, I didn't mean to do that.
The killing, the maiming, the torturing of our children. Okay, and there are millions. We even had an Illuminati from the Committee of 300 go on Twitter or YouTube or whatever it was, and I posted it on my Telegram, which, by the way, I go at 3 a.m, I go out there and rant. So you'd be missing something if you've never been on my Telegram. But
oh, I'm missing.
Wow, this is awesome. So now I can stick with the script. But no, this is on my thing. But thank you so much. I love you. Okay, thank you. You're the sweetest man. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. So sorry to be unorganized here, but bottom line, okay, so what we're talking about is, again, we're talking about how this planet is controlled, all right? And it's controlled by fear, all right? This is a huge thing. Now, okay, good. We've got the first slide. So Okay, I'm going to do something that I don't normally do. All right. I don't like targeting people. So I don't like using their name and, bad mouthing them and whatnot. Right.
Oh, she's going to name names. Yeah. And you know, one other thing that jumps out to me is that, like, Terry, if you knew the truth about millions of children getting kidnapped, tortured, murdered, are you going to like a Trump-esque truth tour event to talk about it? Or are you going and saving those children? Like, come on, get in the Kerry Cassidy crazy mobile, bitch, and go save the children. Don't go talk about it. Like, go save those poor tortured children. They all do this. Jason Shurka, he's getting updates because there's underground bases under Washington, D.C. where the adrenochrome harvesting is happening. Great. Show us the base. What are you going on YouTube talking about it for, you idiot? Go save those children. None of them ever do it. They just talk about it. They're just okay to let those children be tortured, and abused and murdered and ritually sacrificed while it's going on, so they can make money talking about it at public events. This makes no sense. It's just ridiculous from a logic perspective.
Well, they got their whistleblowers. Her special sources are telling her this, so it's got to be true.
Yeah,
even people that she can't name, the white hats. It's just about to get good. Hold on.
But recently, our government, okay, that's a joke, right? Okay, which government? The Biden show? The guy there are 4 Bidens. If you haven't heard 107 say this.
Oh yeah, there's clones.
You need to tell that to all your friends. Anytime they say the word Biden, you say, which one?
And she's quoting 107. So 107 is, and towards the end, she's going to explain how 107 is actually John F. Kennedy Jr. So, Biden is cloned. 4 of them.
There are 4 of them. Okay, let's not forget that. Okay.
Well, what are they, robots or
clones? Them are the real Biden.
Already.
He died.
Oh, people applauding somebody who's being dead.
The way she poses, like he died, like she's almost like a comedian, like he died, and then the crowd's like, woo! It's like we all know he died, right? It's so bizarre in a way.
I'm sorry to say this. I just drove here with a taxi driver from Kenya who knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, that'd be a fun taxi
Go figure, right?
Did you know that
Biden to sign up or come
Biden's
to this
dead
event.
And there's 4 clones pretending to be President Biden right now, Mr. Kenyan taxi driver? Oh yeah, Kerry Cassidy. Like, I love how she always uses prover maneuvers like that. Like, well, this guy, he knew all about this that was driving me here. Sure he did. She's so full of it, this lady.
He just wants a big tip.
He's telling me about Trump this and Trump that, and why don't they know this and why don't they know that? It was amazing. In fact, I had a guy in Turkey one time who sat us down. He was supposed to sell us a rug, and he started giving me, he didn't know who I was, a lecture on the state of the world. It was amazing. Too bad he didn't go on the circuit. So this is what we're talking about, okay? Now, I said I wasn't going to name names, but I am going to name a name during this presentation. And I want to say, look, it's not personal. This person is well known, all right? You're going to know exactly who I'm talking about. But the trouble is that when we start having disclosure, okay, this is my game, all right? I have been working on this problem for 18 years. Do not bring me witnesses from the intelligence community and other disclosure witnesses and pretend as though this just happened, that people just came forward. When I have been talking to these people and they have been out there risking their lives to tell you the truth for well over 18 years. I'm actually kind of new to the block compared to people like Bill Cooper. Right? and Phil Schneider. People that are really risked their lives, and people that died, okay? And Bob Dean and all my whistleblowers, all right, who I give a
Bob
huge
Dean was a
tribute to
wackadoo.
because I'm here because of them, all right? And that includes Captain Mark Richards, who's been in prison for well over 35 years because
There's our
he
murderer
is
source.
working against.
That's the part. That's the part that gets me. And I know that I have some friends watching on Facebook. Just and maybe some people that don't know. Captain Mark Richards went to prison because he masterminded the murder of another person like Charles Manson. He was part of the Pendragon cult.
And Kerry Cassidy is so ridiculous because essentially, if I understand her correctly, she's saying that like aliens take Captain Mark Richards out of his cell and he goes on space adventures, right? And he saves the universe, but then they've just put him back in his jail cell and nobody ever knows that he's gone. You know, like it's so childish and pathetically, illogically stupid that I can't believe that she says these things and doesn't stop for a moment to just even acknowledge how ridiculous that is, right?
We've never seen her really interview him. What she did was she
goes and visits him in prison and milks him for stories, and then she goes back on the internet
herself
and says,
repeating what he said to her.
Yeah,
and
Mark Richards told me. Like any fake story she wants to push, she essentially just says Mark Richards told me. And if people knew the whole story, like who cares about some guy who convinced a bunch of kids to smash somebody's head in with a baseball bat to death says about conspiracy theories? Who cares? Maybe that guy's just bored because he's been in prison for 25 years and, you know, he's looking for attention. There's no proof she's never proved anything that she got from Mark Richards. Nothing.
She's adamant about how, Captain Mark Richards said, like, that's a major source for her and she will stand by it. She's not going to let it go. And if you question that, if you say, well, your source is in prison because he masterminded a murder, he was like kind of doing the Pendragon cult. He was basically a terrorist group. They were going to take over Marin County even. Like, and there's so much. Kevin Morrison does a lot of research on this, and she's still going to to back that as one of her sources. This is true. It's just and well, she's doing it here. She's going to do it more than once.
What is called the Luciferian rebellion.
Oh,
okay, it's a rebellion against Christ. It's basically Satanism. Okay, they're one and the same. All right, so let's get down to it.
Technically, I don't think Lucifer is the same as Satan, but that's a whole other conversation.
Well, from a religious perspective, it depends on who you ask, but largely, most theologians will tell you that Lucifer was the name of the angel, and that once he fell from heaven, he took a new moniker of Satan or the adversary. Okay. So. But it depends on who you ask, because other theologians say that Lucifer and Satan are two different entities, and it gets very complicated. I'm doing a whole thing on demonology. It's fascinating.
You know what? There's a guy. There's a guy named Mr. Mythos. That he's awesome. I watched this whole thing on it, the obsessive something of demonology. Yeah, it's really good.
He's got two of them. One is from the Solomonic tradition, and one is from the Judeo-Christian tradition. He tells both sides of the demonology. That guy's awesome. He's really great. He is.
Yeah. Mr. Mythos on YouTube. Highly recommend him.
Mm-hmm. And what has been running the planet is Satanism, okay? And this is what you find in all the echelons. It's in religion. It's in your education. It's in the schools. And do you deny it's in the schools? If I said that 4 years ago, you probably would say, what do you mean it's in the schools? It's in the schools. Transhumanism and Satanism and pedophilia, all this thing, they all go together. Okay,
no,
they all are linked.
They don't.
These are not separate concepts. These are what's happening. This is the rule of law that you have been following your whole life because they told you to. All right, and your parents believed them, sadly. Strange because, you know, a lot of people's parents, maybe not their generation, but maybe they're right before them, Nazi Germany. We were fighting the Nazis since the 1940s, right? And even
No.
30s. So
Yeah,
how is it that we're fighting them again now? They never left. They never lost. The secret is they came over in the form of scientists like Wernher von Braun, who they whitewashed, who was a full-out Nazi, okay? And I'll fight anyone who wants to tell me different. The proof is he had slaves, Nazi slaves, and I've actually been over there to.
She also will say the proof, and says it.
Well,
but
no, but here's the thing, and this is why some of these conspiracy theorists are able to convince some people, because what she is saying here about Wernher von Braun is 100% factually and historically accurate. Wernher von Braun was a high-ranking Nazi. He's responsible for the V-2 rockets and the death of thousands of people in England, because once they developed the V-2 rockets, one of the major uses they used them, they just kept shooting rockets off to England. And wherever they fell, they fell. They fell on schools, churches, playgrounds. They killed innocent children. So many conspiracy theorists, including her, use Wernher von Braun for the boogeyman. And when they throw in that, it's like, this is true. But now you'll see what she's going to do. She's going to use that like, well, this is true. And it is. It's verifiably true. And there was slaves building those V-2 rockets. He had a whole slave force while they were building those V-2 rockets. So everything she said is historically and factually correct about Wernher von Braun. But what she does, and I think David Wilcock took this from her, is they throw out that one thing that's really true. And then they stack on top of it all kinds of BS.
That's exactly what they do.
And then they think that because the first thing they said was true, then everything I just said must be true too. But really, they're just using that one bit of truth and then piling fake nonsense on top of it.
That's the MO of all of it, and most of what we like, a lot of what we see on either online and sometimes even the mainstream media.
Yeah, because one seed of truth somehow makes the whole thing true. It doesn't.
It's the way that's said. There's a bias to it. There's a slant to the information. So yeah, yep, they do, and that's what bothers me the most about all of this is that they take truth and they add something else to it. And then it takes the truth away. It tarnishes the facts. Yeah. So.
To like Poland and that vicinity. I saw the Henge, which is called the Henge. It's up on a hill. And I walked in one of those horrible, these cave places where the slaves worked. And I couldn't handle it. Okay. Incredible. Eastern Europe. You know, very heavy duty vibes in that place. Satanic, it's just everywhere.
Yeah, and I would argue with that point because
the light beams, right?
What she's talking about is in Poland, and Poland is one of the most highly Catholic Christian countries in the world. They would not be okay with a bunch of Satanists around. You know, the Henge, the stuff that she's talking about is secret bases that were once in Nazi-controlled Poland. So, there's Satanism everywhere. Well, why is it one of the most heavily Catholic countries in the world then? If there's Satanists everywhere, would they tolerate that being so Catholic? The majority of the citizens in Poland, but don't bother her with the facts. Her mind is made up, right?
Right. Yeah.
You are light beings, all right? And we bring our frequency and we raise the light into the places that we go, okay?
By using
so never underestimate, that you can go into the poshest hotels and restaurants on the planet. They belong to you. They're made off your backs, off your children's backs, off the money that you have spent, okay, in your silly taxes. Are you kidding me? We're humans. We have to pay to live here. Who says who? Okay? This is where we're going. Okay, so I'm gonna go really fast because I have 20 minutes, they told me. So let's see. I don't know. This is not okay.
Yeah, what are the
So-
odds she's only going to do 20 minutes?
Okay, we have 6. I'm just going to cut to.
Yeah, right. She didn't do 20
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, of course not.
Because she's Kerry Cassidy, right? She's opening the show.
The chase.
Yeah,
And
she's so-
they should never have put me on first.
What? Oh,
She's
Okay?
complained like 10 times that they put her on
Because
first.
yeah.
you know, sorry, but this is where I'm not going to mince words here. All right. So, and okay, let me say it this way because I don't want to get sued, but the current administration is run by a family of pedophiles. It's a whole family. And I'm not kidding. I'm talking the husband, the wife, the kids, you know, and we've got proof. There is proof of that.
It's outrageous. And she goes, and we have proof. There's proof of that. Okay, so where's the proof? Again, where's the proof? Show us something.
Listen, I have a real pet peeve, and one of my pet peeves is people accusing people of something as heinous as that without doing the actual, you know, without having any evidence. For example, you know, there's this UFO hate group that's ridiculous. They go and they look up somebody's name, and if there's somebody with the same name as you with a previous crime related to children, let's say, they just put it on Twitter and say that's you, even if they don't know for sure it's you. Like, you can't do that to somebody. That is a heinous crime. And as much as I think Biden is a joke and his family are criminals, I don't have any proof that they're, you know, guilty of that. So I wouldn't say that publicly without having some kind of evidence, and it better be good evidence.
Biden, you know? Let's face it, though, he is kind of creepy. I mean, with the hair sniffing and the, you know, there's
he's definitely creepy, but you know,
it's like a little preoccupied with some of the children and when they were in doctor.
Yeah, I'm sure there's awful, but this is the thing. She just takes rumors and innuendo and turns it into facts. It's a bridge too far. Yeah, it's a bridge too far.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. All right. So let's get down to it. All right. All right. So we've got 6 alien AI invading our planet. Captain Mark Rich told me that like 5 years ago.
She said there's all this evidence of the whole Biden family being the P word, you know, having problems with children. And I've seen all that evidence. Let's get down to it. And then she changes the subject. She doesn't show any of the evidence. And now we're on to aliens.
Right. And there's AI races and she and her source
is the murderer, Mark Richards.
Is the murderer. Yeah. The guy who's in prison. Right.
Boy, this is definitely a truth tour. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We probably have more now. We're talking about aliens. Okay, so this is the premise. Any spacefaring race of beings will create an AI when they go out into space. And what is AI? What a lot of people don't understand this concept. And AI.
I don't know. I understand AI, right? I mean, I understand artificial intelligence, but
I have a background in computer science, and I have written a lot of AI programs in my life. When I was a child, I really tried really hard to write a conversationalist program that you could, you know, I was something that just fascinated me. And the Turing test, like, let's see if I could get this thing so good that people wouldn't know if it was a human or a computer that they were talking to. So I can't wait to see her definition of what AI is.
Yeah, here we go.
Is a reflection. It is the mirror. What is Lucifer? He is the mirror. Okay, this goes all the way up to the creator. So anything, this is the Illuminati know these principles, and I've studied them. Okay, studied them.
Okay, I just want to point out the honey bear again. The little Trump.
You got to push that Trump honey bear while you're telling lies. Yes. Oh God, this is so ridiculous. TruthTour.net, real big up on the screen, while she's just making up stuff from a murderer. This is great.
Done some since I was 12 years old. Because for some reason, thank God or whatever, I came into this life, I never was awakened. I was awake the minute I hit the ground, you know. Because, hey, all you had to do was look around you and listen to the lies And they just got worse and worse the longer I was here. So I decided I have to do something about this. So what we're talking about is the reflection, the mirror image of God.
I'm going to lie more. You know, that's what I'm going to do about it.
So the Satanists and the Luciferians fell in love with the image of God, not God. And they decided they were the image of God, all right, which we're always told, right? In the Bible, it says, you know, man was made in the image of God. They took that literally in a way that was to twist it so that they became God in a way that was to be God over you, not what I would say, which is we're all flames of God, of the Spirit, right?
Okay, but but this is New Age, though. I just want to say that really quick. When you go, well, we're all God, right? We're all the flames of God. That's still that's another type of religion which falls into, or spirituality which falls into the UFO world.
Yeah, and that is a very common theme in New Age circles, and even in religion. I mean, I've heard a Christian minister say the same essential thing. We all have the spark of God in us. We have a shard.
I mean,
we have a shard of the greater God consciousness within all of us. That's a pretty universal thing. And most people agree with and believe that. So this is another attempt at throwing out one thing everybody agrees with, and then you throw out a bunch of lies on top of it. Or she probably will. Yeah.
Well, yeah. You know, it made me think of that song. Remember that song that goes, "This is a light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine." Remember that song? No?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
The difference. One wants to have power over you, and the other is with the Holy Spirit, is with God, is the whole thing, okay? So when we talk about AI, the first thing you want to do is you want to create a mirror image of yourself in that thing that you're creating. We call it like another being, a fake, you know, based on silicon, so-and-so, okay? So if you go to that root and you begin to understand it's the mirror that it's going to deceive you, okay? So from there, that's where you want to take it. So okay, so we have
stop for a second,
certain alien beings.
This is an important point. She's somehow connecting AI to be evil and connected to Lucifer.
Yes.
But what a lot of people don't know is that I believe that AI will be a tool like any other human tool. And you know, Terry, like I could take a hatchet or an axe. Let's use an axe as an example. An axe is a tool too. So is artificial intelligence. And with an axe, I can chop wood and provide warmth and heat for my family. I can benefit my community. Maybe there's an old person that lives next to me that can't chop wood. I can do that for them with my axe. I can chop down dangerous trees that are in danger of falling and hurting somebody. An axe is a tool, but I can take that same axe and I can go I could go to one of my neighbors and murder them with that same tool. So AI is a tool like any other, but she's connecting AI to like some evil, nefarious thing. And a lot of people don't know this, but there are breast cancer screenings right now that are conducted by AI. In other words, they do the imaging scans, and then instead of having a human review them all, they have AI review them all. And the AI's accuracy rating in finding cancerous growths in breasts, for example, this is just one example of a great use of AI, is orders of magnitude better than a human analyst, right? So would the people who were saved from breast cancer consider AI evil, knowing that AI might have been partially responsible for them getting early treatment for breast cancer and saving their lives? It's just ridiculous for her to paint with that broad brush like AI's Luciferian, it's evil. No, there's a 1,000 great uses of AI right now. Of course, some people may use it for evil purposes, just like the axe analogy. It's a tool. You can use it for good or you can use it for evil. It's a tool in and of itself is neither evil or good. Same can be said for guns. You can use a gun to protect your family, protect your person, or you could use it to be a murdering scumball. It's just a tool, you know. Same for AI. So this broad brush, she's playing on people's fear. Like AI is going to take your job. AI is going to destroy your life. AI is going to control you.
Well, there are some people that probably will be losing their jobs though to AI.
Sure.
And one of them, it might even be journalists,
drivers. Even creatives. We thought us creative people were safe, right? We thought, well, AI, they can't make them creative, so we'll always be okay because we make music or content or videos. AI is coming for that too. Yeah,
and it does art. It's when I say that they may be writing articles, like it might be that, because literally this happened. One of my professors, she would shut the door. She goes, all right, the reason why I'm trying to teach you guys how to edit is because to be editors, because you might be actually your jobs might be, what your AI is going to be.
Your purpose might be, AI made the content. You got to edit it for the AI.
For humans. But one thing I don't think AI can do is it doesn't have a sense of humor. Like it can't really be funny. I don't think.
Yes, it can. I can go on Chat GPT right now and tell it to write jokes, and it'll write some good jokes. You have to edit them. But
it's not gonna. I don't know. Maybe maybe I'll try it out. I'll go to GPT chat and see if it can write jokes.
Write jokes. I'm telling you.
But the one thing that it probably can't do, maybe it still can, have an avatar that looks human that could be doing YouTube videos or whatever, but it really can't take away the personality. Like what we're doing on YouTube, I don't think AI is going to be like, is that right? Okay. So, because humans, I think, are still going to want to listen to humans overall in the end. I hope. Anyway, so, let's keep going.
Okay, I'm going to get down to calling names or a certain name. So when the new disclosure witnesses came forward recently, and even I think the New York Times, but certainly the Daily Mail and various other newspapers brought forward these people, and they're good people, okay, a good guy. One's named Grush, I guess, and I talked about him on my website and did some investigation. And the other one is, actually, I forget their name, Herrera. Okay, and Herrera is a fascinating story. I'm going to interview him, by the way. He's agreed to do an interview. And I don't usually try to tell people ahead of time because,
Did you get Grush? I think Herrera is the guy that was in the Daily Mail. Grush wasn't in the Daily Mail, but whatever. Okay.
They're going to try to mess with it. All right, so if it gets interfered with, you'll know why. But bottom line is, they started to say lies. And then Stephen Greer held a kind of a press conference-y thing about these witnesses, and he got their testimonies. And look, he's done a good service on the one hand, right? But the trouble is he's wrapped lies into it. So he is, I don't know what you want to call it. He's on the payroll. He's been taken over. I could say a lot of things, okay? But let me tell you why am I having an issue with Stephen Greer, okay? Because he is out there telling people two major lies. One.
When she says Stephen Greer, it always makes me remember when you did that show and you were pointing out that he had a camel toe. Stephen Greer had a camel toe. Anyway, all right.
And this, I did a whole video with him many years ago that if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they had a whole argument.
In Barcelona, Spain, where he walked into a room behind the stage where we were conducting interviews. He sat down and said, "I'm ready for my interview." And I said, "Well, we're not going to get along, and this is going to be contentious. Are you sure you want to do that?" He said, "Bring it on." So I did. And basically, he had lied to 1,500 people in the audience a few hours before, telling them the usual spiel about how all aliens are good, right? Kiss my ass. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously. But do you know how dangerous that lie is? You have to understand. First of all, I'm going to tell you today that our real government is a secret government, and I don't mean deep state, I mean deeper than deep state. I mean a secret government, And it's a secret space program, and they're going off planet, colonizing other planets, using technology that's 10,000 years in advance of what we have right now. And they're doing it and lying to you all the while. Okay, and while we have people living in poverty, and they're also, how do they finance their secret space program? Drugs, triumvirate, right? Drugs, human trafficking, and guns. Those are the
What
three.
about the adrenochrome
And the biggest
sales?
one is what? Human trafficking. That's how they finance themselves. Okay? So
Yeah,
you
Greer's the
wonder
grifter, not her.
why the hell the earth is so fucked up, you know, and why is our country is a laughing stock. Okay, it has to be. Do you know that most of the governments, they know, look, do you think that I know something that no government knows? I ask you, with the surveillance, you think they haven't been tapping into me and my work for the last 18 years and other people like me?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Even if they
governments all
knew
over the
nothing
world
when they
are
started
listening to her.
surveilling us,
Sure.
now they've had an education, all right? So the fact of the matter is, and this is the other lie Stephen Greer wants you to think, and this is a CIA-planted lie and agenda. You see, when they start having disclosure, they have a problem. It's not a little problem. They have been lying to you now, flat out lying, killing whistleblowers, maiming their families, you name it, for well over 60, let's see, no, 80 years. We're talking.
Look at the crowd. Look at that crowd. Look at this dude right here with the patriot, the flag outfit. Oh, wow. See, that's why I said it looks like a Trump rally. Anyway.
Since the 1940s, and
hey, Pondburger, I see you out there. Hi.
You know, maybe even before. Since the days of the atomic bomb and all of that, they brought over the Nazi scientists. The Nazi scientists were contacted by an alien race that were humanoid. They were probably a combination of reptilian and human. They looked human, blonde, blue-eyed, and the whole 9 yards. But the bottom line is they gave them the technology for the Foo Fighters. And
why are they blonde and blue-eyed? That's the part that I don't get. Like, why are the aliens blonde and blue-eyed that came over? Like, how come we don't have any black aliens? Why? Where are the Mexican aliens?
Yeah, they're always, the good guys are always the hot ones, the attractive ones, right? That look like us. The bad guys are the ugly ones, the grays and the reptilians. It's like childish, you know?
And they basically said to them, you could win the war with our technology, but you got to wait. And what they were waiting for was right now. And this is what they're doing, okay? They are taking you over completely now. They started back then. So why is Stephen Greer out there saying, the government didn't know? These poor Congress people, they had no idea. They didn't know there were secret special access programs. Seriously, do you think that I know more than them? Okay, you're in an intelligence agency. Come on, I know it's an oxymoron of a title, but nonetheless, okay, and for those of you that are in the audience, hello. You know, and a lot of my colleagues have been brought into those agendas, okay? A lot of my colleagues are what you call limited hangouts, okay? They are purposely steering you away from the real truth and nothing but the truth. I will not do that, okay? And they can fucking kill me tomorrow. I don't care.
Did she just say the F word? Okay. She's okay as a word whisker for her. She needs to get rid of that.
And these people always paint themselves as some kind of hero of truth, right? Like heroes of truth would have better sources than some murderer that's been in a jail cell for 35 years telling you secret space adventure stories. She is laughable at this point. She is completely, totally laughable at this point, you know?
Yeah.
I know why Bill Ryan left.
You know, and
Right? He's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, like, this bitch is too crazy, even for me. I'm out of here.
Wait, but even though doesn't he say that he's King Arthur reincarnated, Bill Ryan?
I think so. Yeah, he's pretty wacky too. But yeah, I like him though as a person. I'll tell you that. He kind of sent me some. He had people from his forum sort of help me with some stories early on, like send me some really good pieces of information, sort of point me in the right direction. So, it is what it is. I still think a lot of stuff that he says or believes is wackadoo, but he's less wackadoo than her. So we got to have a sliding wackadoo scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't mean to try to wake you up this early in the morning with this kind of, this is crazy. Really, seriously, I would advise against ever putting me on first. But since they did, I just want you to understand these are lies. I'm sorry.
She probably thought she was the closer.
Like, I'm the headliner. Why am I going first? Yeah.
This is something they do. Okay, this is how they beat you. They will join you. They will get on your team. I don't care what kind of team you create. They're not the creator, okay? We're the creators, by the way. They are, in essence, followers. So they will join your team and they will infiltrate you, and then they will steer your agenda right in their direction. And it will include lies and misdirections and all over the place. So here he is acting very meek. The guy is not meek. He's anything but, and I know some inside information that I'm not going to reveal here, okay? And I know a lot of information inside on all my colleagues, okay? I'm not saying anything about that right now. But no, I just want to tell you that there's this one man, because he's got a lot of influence. He's out there with this new disclosure, spin, and he's telling you two very important lies, very important. He's telling you the government is innocent, and by God, you can't be that stupid, right? These people knew, and they know. Captain Mark Richards told me years ago, he said, most of all,
there's
Congress
a murder
knows.
source, yeah.
He said, when they went to Greer, and Greer thinks he educated them, you know what the game was? They pretended they were stupid. They pretended not to know. They played his game because they were told to. That's what they do. They act like they had no idea. Are you kidding me? The government, it's been a planned, basically, agenda since the 1930s. And on planet Earth, since way before that. So what we call the Illuminati, the cabal, the occult, occult means secret. They had the secret knowledge. Why is it secret? It's secret from you. I lead tours of Egypt every year. And I have now found out.
Tours from Egypt every year with your donations.
Yeah. I get downloads.
Remember, guys, she hasn't had a job in 20 years, and this is the quality of the information that she offers people. One thing I've noticed about all these grifters, and a trait they all share in common, is that they're all extremely lazy, right? Like, if she wanted to, she could go out and really try to find really good stories with really good sources, but it's much easier to just milk some guy in prison on the phone once a week for new stories to tell your audience or something. You know what I mean? They're all lazy. Same David Wilcock, he's using completely fake sources. He doesn't bother to take the time to check their claims as far as where they say they worked or their education. He just believes them and goes and runs and sells their stories. They're all lazy, these people. Because it beats a day job, right? Day jobs suck. You want to sit there working at some job for 8 hours a day? Or do you want to make one phone call to some guy in prison who tells you secret space stories, and you just go on the internet and repeat those stories, and you make the same as you would at a day job or better? They're lazy. It's a great gig if you're okay with lying to people on a daily basis.
Well, the guy that I interviewed, the Jerry Avalos, who called me, he gave me shit. You go, what do you mean he's a super soldier test subject? What are you doing here? But Jerry Avalos worked with Kerry Cassidy briefly. was, helped her out, right? And he said that she admitted to him, like when she was interviewing some of the people that she called super soldiers at that conference, in like, let's say, Max Spears even, or James Casbolt. She's gonna mention Aaron McCollum, because I did a show. I did a show on Aaron McCollum. I think like last month, about how that he's a hybrid with dolphins. There's like human animal hybrid kind of thing going on. She admitted to Jerry that she doesn't always believe everybody that she interviews, but she says it, she goes, well, it's worth documenting. But then after, now that she's speaking, or when she talks about people, I don't see that that's the case. I mean, like, okay, well, so I just find that kind of, I don't know, just interesting that not even she believes all of it, but she still interviews it. I mean, as a person who's giving out content, should you tell your audience that you don't believe it totally, or you look, this is for entertainment purposes only, or be a bit of a devil's advocate when you're interviewing somebody? I mean, where's the integrity in it?
Yeah, there is none. I don't know. I get upset when I see some of the grifters and the view counts that they get, because I'm like, why am I bothering to research anything? Like they don't do any work, and they just, they can lap us people doing real work 10 times over. But I really think that there's two categories. It's apples and oranges. You can't compare yourself to the grifter squad, or similar shows to mine that have just a total believer slant are going to do 10 times better than me. Because people like the fairy tales, the truth is boring, reality sucks. People are looking for that fantasy, that escape, that hopium, It is what it is.
In these sites, and they're incredible energetics. And basically, all of Egypt, everything you've been told about is a lie. Everything. It's propaganda, and they were propagandizing the people back then, and it's continued to today. This is how this globe is run, by lies. Lies upon lies upon lies, okay? And that's the only way they can get you to pay to live here. Literally. This is our land.
Oh, I got to sell the Trump, honey.
We need sovereignty. Okay, and we need to take it back from the invading races. And when Stephen Greer gets up there and says, well, I've heard there's just like about 80, my God. Back in the days of Camelot, Clifford Stone came forward and said, well, I don't know, I think there's around something like 56 or whatever they were selling back then. Are you kidding me? You know how many planets are out there? Even scientists will tell you there are Earth-like planets in the millions, if not billions. Now, what are the chances that some other beings might be out there? Hello? That we might not be alone? All right. Don't give me this self-centered idea that you're the only ones that God gives a shit about. All right. Seriously, any creator that would only concentrate on Earth and these people, that's a pretty limited fucking creator. That sounds more like an Illuminati member than a creator to me. Because God is everything. Do you think I'm kidding when I say God is everything? God is everything. That means the good, the bad, the ugly. All right? So there's a reason why we have yin and yang. Okay? There's a reason why you have light and dark. It's to allow you to...
It bothers me that she has embodied herself to tell everybody what God is. That's what,
and drops F-bombs while she's talking about God, because that's respectful, right?
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Realize the light, all right? And the light always wins.
What a bunch of sheeple. What a bunch of sheeple, right?
And you know that because all you need is this could be pitch dark, and all we do is light a candle. One little flame. So believe me, the Creator can handle it, okay? and so can you. You are flames of the Creator. Every single one of you is a reflection of the Creator, all right? And your gifts, and you brought your gifts with you. And every single one of you has a unique gift. That's what's amazing about the Creator, that he could be so, or she could be so incredible as to be able to think up every nuance. And that doesn't just mean human, okay? And that doesn't mean just from Earth.
She also gave the Creator a gender assignment. I just want to throw that out there too.
All right. So I'm giving you a background to my work, to where I come from, so you can understand what we're talking about here. All right. So I think we got past that slide. So hold on. Okay. So this has been going on since the 1940s. Okay. Let's talk about super soldiers.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, this is the one thing that the secret space program does. A lot of people don't know, why do we have a secret space program? And you know, Stephen Greer gets up there and says, we're going to arrest these people. Are you fucking kidding me? These people have built underground cities right under your feet. They're made up of, and in service to, are all the corporations, NASA, Lockheed, you name it, right? Who have been feeding their best of their best into this underground world.
Sorry, I look at better.
Ah!
I know.
I guess they didn't like that. I guess they didn't like that.
She's
Okay.
gonna save Earth, but she can't work a fucking.
So you're not going to shut me up. All right.
See, super soldier. No, see my interviews with Aaron McCullum, a dolphin human hybrid. Okay. See
The
that
Aquaman guy. That guy is the best.
No, you're not a dolphin person. No, stop. Okay, that's the one
He's
I just
Aquaman. He's like
I can't get
Aquaman.
over.
He can swim
Yeah.
real fast and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to say a few words about super soldiers, because what they want to do is what is the
Soldiers, the term that she coined? Super soldiers.
transhuman agenda? What is the COVID agenda? What are they doing? They're shooting
was
you up
coined
with
in the
nanographene
1960s,
oxide,
Captain
which is
America.
found to be.
What?
The term super soldier was around in the 1960s. It was first used to describe Captain America, the super soldier serum that turned Captain America from a scrawny little dude into a big, super powered American hero. It was called the super soldier serum, and it still is to this day in the modern movies. A lot of the super soldier mythos all came from Captain America. Some of them even claim that they were given some sort of serum or chemical that turned them super. That's Captain America's origin story. So she didn't invent the term super soldier. The creators of Captain America did back in the 60s, or 50s even, I think. I have to look it up.
Not even original.
To be the strongest material on Earth. And what does it do? It grows. And it starts out as little flecks, and then it links up like in a chain, and then it turns into a lattice. And pretty soon, according to my whistleblowers and David Adair, rocket scientist, it becomes...
David Adair is not a rocket scientist, by the way. He's not a rocket scientist. She always says that, and he's not. And by the way, the Captain America was first published December 20th, 1940. And in that comic, they describe him as a super soldier, enhanced to the peak of human physical perfection by an experimental, quote, super soldier serum, unquote. So there's no way on God's green earth. She wasn't even born in 1940. How could she have invented the term when it existed in Captain America comic books as of 1940? But that's her ego. She likes to take credit for things like, I invented this term. And, okay. No, you didn't. The comic book creators invented the term super soldier, and that would be Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. Credit the right people. You didn't invent that. They did in 1940. So she's lying through her teeth. She knows about Captain America. They all do. They steal their stories from comic books and video games, and it's ridiculous.
So
this woman is ridiculous.
Who's David Adair?
David Adair is a guy he's that guy who claims that, like, when he was a child, he invented this super advanced rocket engine, but he can't recreate it now. And somehow he met like Wernher von Braun, and he went to Area 51 when he was a child, and he saw a big alien engine that was the same engine that he created in his rocket that he was test flying and the government was interested in. He can't prove anything. We did a show on him, and he's running around telling people that all these people offered him $5 billion to start a private space agency. The Saudis did, and he's going to be starting it. And that was like 5 years ago. Still hasn't started any space agency, but he's working UFO conferences telling his fairy tales. He's not a real rocket scientist. The only proof of all the stories is that when he was a child, like 14-year-old child, somebody at a local newspaper wrote an article about him building model rockets. And pardon me for being unimpressed, because I built some huge model rockets as a child. It doesn't mean that you're a rocket scientist. You know what does? A degree. Or, and he also claimed that he worked for NASA, I think, for a time, and no, he didn't. Like, he's just another grifter, complete. And she's using a wackadoo prover maneuver. I'm a wackadoo saying wackadoo things, but don't worry, I have proof. And my proof is that another wackadoo who says wackadoo things says I'm telling the truth about this. It's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, she does it all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
Comes a network and takes over your cells and turns you into a cyborg or an android and links you to the Borg, which is the AI that's running the planet. And then it can have influence over you. But by the way, who are you?
Right.
The Borg
and what are you? You are in bodies, yes, but your body is not you, okay? You are a spirit, a soul inhabiting a vehicle called a body. And therefore, I don't care how many chains they put on you, they can't chain the real you. Okay, and you have, according to my information and coming from other sources like Ashiana Dean, who's in touch with the Guardian races, you have 12 given incarnations simultaneously at any given time. They can chain this body, they can even kill this body, but you live on. So remember that, okay? And remember, when they give you a transhuman agenda, you can, if you're good enough at it, if you've mastered your body, and I mean this body, then you can influence, it's a two-way street with AI, okay? They can influence you to do certain things, but you can influence it. And what does that mean? And this is what they don't, the biggest secret we were told in Project Camelot in the early days is you and your superpowers. So yes, we have some super soldiers out there that have been chipped and this and that, but the reality is what this body that God, the Creator, created is capable of is pretty much fucking unlimited, okay? That means that you can do everything that Christ did and more. Did he not say that? And more. Okay, we're going to think about that and more, all right? Because you have superpowers. And because you're not locked in a body every second of every day. In fact, scientists have even heard that you leave every few seconds. We're not even here all the time. You go somewhere else because you got a lot of other things to be doing, all right? So I guess I'm at
Wait a second. Didn't that movie just win the Academy Award this year? So the whole thing about everything, everywhere, all at once, right? I mean, okay. Yeah.
The end of my time or whatever, I don't.
Am I done yet?
I didn't even get, I didn't even get down to everything, but I think I encapsulated as much as I have on these slides.
No,
I could go on for hours or days, obviously.
Totally.
And my website has videos and witnesses that just will knock your...
Wait, the best is still yet to come. This is the part that really makes me want to regurgitate, but okay, it's coming up.
Socks off. The government is bringing out a few nice little carefully manicured sightings, and the Tic Tacs probably are ours. We have, listen, we are able to go to war with aliens because what we did is, right or wrong, in the days of Eisenhower, brought them in,
Let's bring
agreed to make deals with them, treaties they broke, by the way, and then basically learned everything they had to offer. And now we're doing one better. Why? Because humans are endlessly creative. We are creators. Like who? The big one out there. You know what I'm saying? So that is why they use you and abuse you and need you. They will never eliminate all the population. They will keep some of you as slaves. Yeah, the Georgia Guidestones said about how many they think they need. I was told that the Georgia Guidestones was actually the managers that they wanted to leave behind. But I don't quite believe that, okay? So I'm just saying, we have it all. The white hats, I have a whole slides here about the white hat agenda, okay? And let me say this just before you knock me off the stage here. Look, I love the white hats, okay? I adore them because they are risking their lives on our behalf, and never, ever forget that. They're risking their lives, their children's lives every day.
I wonder if Kerry loves that website, Confessions of a Former White Hat, right? That she was putting money into, I heard.
Probably.
Yeah, okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
Of the week. And I know because I'm doing the same thing, but they're doing it one better because they're military and they're going into underground bases, underground cities, and they are rescuing children. And anyone who saves a child, is first on my list, all right?
Yeah, unless I can make money selling stories from a, child predator, and then I don't care about children.
She seems so insincere right there in that expression.
Yeah, she's a terrible actress, She's playing the part of some big truther saving the world, and and I love from a psychology perspective, this lady is some boring ass nobody, right? But she goes on the internet and tells fairy tales, and look, people are applauding me and listening to me, and I'm important. So from a psychological perspective, you can understand why these people fall into this trap thinking that they're somebody's, because their real life is sad and boring. She's just she's like your crazy Aunt Edna. Yeah, anybody have a crazy Aunt Edna that just comes to some family events and everybody knows she's kind of wacky and talks about weird shit, but you just kind of it's like crazy.
Yeah,
Aunt
I'm kind of afraid that
she's
might
crazy
be
Aunt Edna. She's just crazy Aunt Edna. That's all this lady is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
But, and this is a big but, I am not going to stand by and watch them lie to you the way the dark side does, okay? They have very little excuse. I don't want to know their day-to-day operations, God forbid, all right? But I am not going to sit by while they lie about alien intervention. Here on this earth, we're being invaded by alien and alien AI every day of the week, and there's hundreds of thousands of them up above our heads in UFOs that you can't even see. And Courtney Brown and his remote viewers are proving that. And you can go to his channel, farsight.org, I think it is, and
oh God,
learn
yeah,
about
that's the guy
how they're
responsible
doing
for
it
the
with
Heaven's
infrared
Gate
photography,
suicides.
etc. So,
What'd you say?
She's mentioning the Farsight Institute, who's I think it's somebody Brown. I can't remember his first name, but he's a remote viewer, and he's the one that viewed the spaceship behind the Halley-Bopp comet and convinced, and the Heaven's Gate cult got convinced that there was a UFO behind that comet, and that's the reason they all killed themselves, because of that guy from the Farsight Institute. So she's citing him as a source, great source, a guy who may have been responsible for the suicide of all those people by, falsely remote viewing spaceships behind comets, another wackadoo.
Wow.
technology, we've got it. And we are going, whether you like it or not, the White Hats are just the beginning. We are going to war with the negatively based aliens that are trying to take over our planet.
Here we go.
And that's going to be the real war. not the war with China. Okay, that's an illusion. Although,
let's go back to Werner von Braun for a second.
Sure.
His assistant, Carol Rosen.
Mm-hmm.
Now she has said that that's what Werner von Braun said to her, was that the last thing that they were going to do, our government.
Yeah, but it's a secondhand account from a woman there's no corroborating evidence. There's no proof that Werner von Braun ever said that to her.
He said that
and she worked for him for an extremely short time, as I recall.
Alien invasion. He said that,
sure.
that Werner von Braun, he said that it was going to be a fake alien disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
A fake alien invasion. It's
yes.
like what is she saying right now? She's saying she's making it like, oh, we have it now. It's not other countries. It's we're get ready because we're gonna go to town on the bad ETs.
Yeah, something else.
Yeah. Sorry, I talked over you.
No, it's fine.
the aliens that are running China and giving them sort of the head start right now in terms of technology and whatnot, we're going to fight them.
Yeah.
We're going to fight the aliens that are running China.
Because they have aliens running.
And you know, some of these people pushing war with China are so stupid. Like, anybody that pushes war with China has to realize something. Almost everything in your home that you've bought in the past year, doesn't matter if it's food or toiletries or personal things or furniture or electronics, it all comes from China. We can't go to war with China. We can't. We just can't do that. So, you know, but I love how she throws out like a completely fantastical statement like aliens are running China. And then she just goes on to something else. Like, really? Wait, you got to unpack that a little bit. Like, what is your evidence that aliens are running China? Well, maybe my murderer friend in prison told me that. Or, you know, she never actually shows any evidence. She just says absolutely wackadoo fantastical things with no evidence. It's amazing.
This whole speech has been that way. Yeah.
Okay, you can better believe it. So understand that this is where it's headed. So you are not coming to the end when you elect somebody like Trump. And I adore Trump. I think he's a wonderful guy.
God, you're not. See, here we go with the Trump thing. Here we go. It's going to Trump.
All right, I really do. And I think he's a brilliant man. But 107 is John F. Kennedy Jr. And he's coming forward at some point when he gets the guts and they allow him. Okay. And no, we're not given an inch. Okay. Juan knows it all. He's a general. And I know this on big authority. Okay. He's above a general in his rank. Right now, if you just want to know, he's actually the vice president of the United States Republic. And I don't give a shit who wants to argue with me. And I've met this man several times in person, and I've had huge arguments with him. I mean, yelling arguments with him. Okay? So take it for what it's worth. Call me crazy if you will.
Yes.
But this is who's really running our country. And if you are actually running our country, Trump, as the CIC, Commander-in-Chief, which the military made sure that he was still Commander-in-Chief after the so-called Biden show came into office, and they let it. They're letting a lot of things happen because they want to wake up people. Well, I have a slide here. See if I can get it right before.
She just said that Trump is running the country right now, right? Did she not just say that?
Yep. She's been saying that for this since he lost. She's been saying it. He's really still in the White House, you know. And then it morphed her and all the Q-tards. It morphed into like, well, he's still in charge of the military, but they're letting Biden control other things or something. It's so stupid, you know.
Yeah.
And as Juan was saying, like, there's pictures of him. He bears like a tiny bit of resemblance, not much to JFK Jr. And you know, one of the things that bothers me about some of these grifters is that, like, you know, that Kennedy man sadly, tragically died in a plane crash. That's the reality. But if you think about it, he's a human being and he has friends and family. And would you want, if you had a family member that died in a tragic plane crash, would you want some idiot on the internet running around telling people that he's still alive and he's the vice president of the United States? It's so disrespectful to that person's family and to the memory of that man who was a human being. These people have no empathy or sympathy for their victims, because there's a lot of victims in their grift. And one of the victims is the people they lie about. And people don't think about that, but I do. Like, if that was my uncle or something, dude, I'd be at every event that she said that at, and I would stand up and scream at her, But I think that she's such a nobody that they don't know that she's doing this. But she's been saying this stuff for years about him.
Yeah.
That Wano Sabin is really Kennedy, and Kennedy's the vice president now with Trump because Pence bad. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
And Wano Sabin is listed on the Anti-Defamation League. He's listed as a Q influencer. Some QAnon followers to actually be John F. Kennedy Jr., who died in a plane crash in 1999. Sabin is a co-founder of America First. Yeah. Who seeks to elect far-right candidates. It's just amazing. It's amazing she can get away with this. And also, remember, this is some kind of live event. People paid money to hear this drivel.
Oh, they did. It's full. The room was full. It's a full house. I mean, they did well on this event.
Well, we're almost done. Let's get done this crazy cavalcade.
Yeah. Take a look at that slide. Does torture work? Ask yourself, does torture work? Do you want more torture to wake up? Do you want your brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers to be tortured in order to wake them up? Is that the right way to do it?
Looks like somebody's trying to get her off the stage.
I rest my case. Thank you.
And that's pretty much it. Okay, that's the whole thing. And you know what? Here's the title of this. A boisterous Kerry Cassidy steals the show, turning her 20 minutes at the Truth Tour into 30. So she stole the show. This right here stole the show.
I don't know. I'd want my money back if I paid for that garbage. Yeah. Well, once a garbage peddler, always a garbage peddler. She started her career interviewing literal criminals who pretended to have, true stories about aliens, and it's just gotten worse from there. I thought after she got thrown off of YouTube, she'd be done because the grift would be over, but she just changed tactics. She put her whole archive or whatever she could recover of it behind a paywall, and you got to pay. Like, I worry about the people dumb enough to give her money for this level of garbage nonsense. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, and people will pay for it. I'm sure she got paid. I don't think she's going up there for free.
Yeah, that's a good point. Wano Sabin got married recently. How could he be remarried if he's still married to Carolyn? Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let me see. Pomberger says, right, Steven, that is the worst part. She stole their cash.
Yeah, she didn't steal the show. She stole their money for this garbage that she's peddling.
I want to see what Wano Sabin looks like really quick. Let me see if I can Google it really quick.
I just try to look and I can't find an image. I know somebody did a side-by-side comparison, and it was nothing like him. Like you can put him through facial recognition and it wouldn't be a hit at all.
Wait,
I'm going to see.
Nothing. Wano Sabin. Okay, wait. It's not this dude. Hold on. I want to share the screen really quick because I don't want to. We're almost 2 hours in, so I'm gonna wrap it up here pretty soon. Because I know you've had a long day, so. And
yeah, I got two boys home with me all day, and trying to take care of two boys, 7 and 11, it's kind of like being in charge of 2 meth heads all day,
Is this him?
No, I think that I have a picture of him.
What's this?
Hold on, I'll share with you the picture.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right, I'll stop the share here.
Oh, hold on. I think this is a picture of Wano Sabin, which would make him a lot older, right?
Okay, let me see. Oh, is that it? Add it to the stream.
That's a picture of Wano Sabin, and this person is saying, well, for any of you skeptics that do not believe Wano Sabin is JFK Jr., here you go. 100% he also played Vince Kennedy McMahon. There is no debate. I'm sorry. I don't think that person looks like JFK Jr. at all. That's my opinion. He looks, now granted, it'll be 23 years since the death of JFK Jr. He'd be older now, but
I don't think it's him. I mean, and you know what? I think that how old would JFK be now? He would be in his early 60s, maybe.
Yeah.
I think he would be way better looking than that. I think he would have aged a lot better than that. That's just my feeling. If he was still alive.
It's just so scummy to involve the family of a dead person in your grift. Like, at least leave the dead people out of it. Like, come on, the guy died in a plane crash. Like, what if it was your uncle, your brother, your father, or whatever, your cousin? Who cares? It's somebody's family that you're involving in your fake nonsense grift.
Sarin's saying that's not one. She says, is it the cowboy guy? That's him, cowboy hat.
Well, that's even more ridiculous then, because the cowboy hat guy, he looks nothing like I haven't seen this stuff in a while because I thought it was such nonsense. But I remember seeing a side-by-side comparison of Wano Sabin and JFK Jr. And somebody pointed out, like, the nose is different, the chin is different. Like, it can't be him. Oh, but don't worry. He had surgery to hide his identity so people wouldn't know it was JFK Jr. after he faked his death in a plane. Come on. It's just ridiculous, But Kerry Cassidy, I think it's about time that she got a real job. Like, how long is she going to do this grift? She's been at it for decades now, and she's never proven a single story that she sold out of, hundreds or thousands over the years. I mean, we were just talking about this on Twitter. Like, I think it's time for a lot of people to get real jobs. We're going to start a new hashtag, get a real job. Like, come on, dude. Like, all right, look, I'll give anybody 5 years. Like, maybe they try to make it as a paranormal journalist or whatever, I'm going to dig into these stories and that's great. But like, after 5 years, if you can't prove anything that you're presenting to people, it's time to get a real job. Time to get a real job.
Well, I mean,
Cowboy is one. Yeah, that guy looks nothing like JFK Jr.
It can't be him. It just can't. And why would he be wearing a cowboy hat?
Well, JFK, if that's JFK Jr., he sure let himself go, dude. He must be eating buckets of chicken and cheeseburgers every day or something. Look at him.
He kind of looks like Jesse Davis a little bit. I don't know. Sort of looks like Jesse.
But that's a ridiculousness.
Yeah. I mean, Jesse. Yeah. Okay. So this is what.
Yeah. I don't know. Somebody put that on TikTok and said this is Wano Sabin and who is also JFK Jr. And there's another image of him. I think there's a little bit of confusion about.
But I don't even. I think this is like probably one of those age regressive kind of AI.
Who knows? But there's no verifiable evidence, and everybody's been making a lot of money pushing this nonsense, right? Like, and if you were Trump, like, would you pick a guy that faked his own death? Like,
I just don't think he would dress like that. He was from Massachusetts. He was not a cowboy. he was not.
Well, don't let a little thing like that get in the way of a good grift, Tere Joyce. It's a good grift.
No, see here, even here, it's like 107 with the oh, there's.
Yeah, I think that that he tried to he pushes that falsehood. So I think he tried to like scrub images of himself, from the internet.
Yes, he goes by one. This is 107. Savin. I keep saying Savin, but to me, it's a pun on that. 107. 107. Well, I thank you for coming to the show, Stephen. I'm gonna wrap it up here in a bit. What do you got going on? What's coming up next week that we should be?
Actually, I'm doing my 1000th live show this week. My next live show, which will be Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow night we have the continuation of Sarah R. Adams' medbed scams. This time with the tanning bed with the magnets and the orgonite glued into it. But that is technically a replay, even though we took it off our channel. We're doing a premiere of that tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. But Tuesday night, I'm going to do something that's sort of like UFO, just the circus of the UFO world. And we're going to be talking about Ross Coulthard's new big bluff that he knows where a huge UFO is somewhere in the world that was so big they couldn't move it. So they just built a building around it. And people are going around on Google Earth trying to find round buildings, claiming they found it. It's so stupid. And so Ross Coulthard is claiming that he knows where an alien spaceship is, but he can't tell anybody because he doesn't want to burn his sources, of course, right? He can't tell you where it's at, but he knows where one is. And by the way, he stole that story from Stephen Greer, who told the same story last month. And but anyway, Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're doing our 1000th live show, which I can't believe it's already up to 1,000 live shows. Praise the archive. I'm going to retire on this archive, I hope.
Well,
I'm going to be like Art Bell. I'm going to be playing reruns for 20 years after I'm done, right? 1,000 live shows, that's a lot. And, it doesn't feel like that many, though. But what a journey my show has been. And thank you for being a part of some of that journey. Terry's a frequent guest, right? Yeah.
I've been around since like the beginning, or not the beginning.
No, yeah, pretty much since the beginning of Truth Seekers. Yeah. But I thank you for that, because there's a few times when somebody, for people that don't know the behind the scenes baseball, it's good to have a friend like Terry. Terry's a friend of mine. And like, I had somebody cancel 5 minutes before the show, and I just called Terry, and Terry jumped right on, and we still did the show. Like, the show must go on, or, and there's been a couple other things where I really needed like a guest or a female perspective or something. And Terry jumps on, and she's always there for those crazy panels. And yeah, the 1000th live show. I can't believe it myself. It's amazing that we've made it this far. When I started that show, somebody would told me, in a short time, you're going to have 1,000 live. I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't have believed that we could get through that many, especially because before I did this show, I was doing an audio podcast, and I'm not kidding you. It would take me all week to do 1-2 hour podcast because of all the editing and the bumpers and the commercials you have to slap in there and all that. And like, this live format is so much better. You just have to be willing to understand that it's a live show. So sometimes strange things will happen, or things won't be perfect. It's a live show. Roll with the punches, and just keep going.
Yeah. Podcasts take a lot more work. I agree with you on that. Because you have to do I took a podcasting class actually. So you've got it's voice levels and sound and editing and
Yep. And by the way, I still put out an audio podcast, but all I do is take my live show audio feed, and I have everything dialed in, so it's pretty close to what you would do if you had to edit it separately. But I'm not doing that. I just take the audio feed, unless there's some major problem, in which case I fix it. But otherwise, I just shoot it out now, and it's probably as good or better quality because I have better microphones now than when I was doing the audio version. So it all works out. Yeah. So next week, 1,000 live shows. And I need a vacation though. I need time off. I gotta take a break. But you know, if you get off this treadmill, you'll come back to, like, if I even took one time, I took 2 weeks off and I came back and I had half the live audience that I did when I left 2 weeks ago. So it's kind of like you can't take the time off. You just have to keep running on that treadmill, you know. But I don't know.
You can't be gone for too long.
You know, because everybody forgets. It's like I took off for 2 weeks and I came back to half of the live viewers and half the views for like it took me like 6 weeks to get back to where we were, just because I took 2 weeks off. And at that time I had to take 2 weeks off because I had to sober up. So it took a few weeks, you know.
Mr. Wren says congrats.
Yeah, thank you, Sarin, who just became a YouTube channel member on my channel, I think. Thank you for that. And I see a bunch of people here in the live chat from my show and some from your show, so that's good. We get a nice mix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Terry and everybody else that wants me to be a guest has to leave me the hell alone. I'm not doing any more guest spots on any of these shitty shows like yours, Terry, until after the summer at least. You know.
You know what? I got lucky tonight. I did. I've been wanting to have you as a guest. I want to have more guests now, so I'm going to bring.
Well, here's what I'll tell you is that I kind of prefer to do shows by myself, but that really takes a toll on you after a while. And what you want to do is find like people like me who talk too much, right? And then you can coast. You could coast. You just ask them a question and you just sit there and listen for 10 minutes. And then you ask them another question. And, you know, and some of these guys, though, I get in trouble for like interrupting people because I have a list of questions. You know, some people will talk for 45 minutes if you give them one. You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to interrupt them. But I like guests that are very talkative for nights where I'm not really feeling like so energetic. So you could just kind of coast a little bit and let them talk the most, you know.
Well, it also kind of offsets things, you know. It brings
and you get another perspective.
People
and
come in and they go, "Oh, so and so's here," whatever. You know, it's good to like not just do by yourself all the time.
Yeah, but you know what I will warn you about is that one of the things that I have a big issue with is this guest, and it's a problem with guests, is that you'll book somebody who some people don't like. It'll never be the majority. Like you're never going to book a guest and like your whole audience sends you hate mail. But I book guests and then I get these crazy people that have some axe to grind or personal vendetta against that guest. And they just keep sending me emails like, how dare you platform this person? Did you know that he said this 22 years ago? I'm not kidding you. Somebody emailed me about something that a guest of mine said 22 years ago. And I'm like, this is so childish and stupid. I don't have time. So I try to like slack back on the guests when that stuff starts happening because these people are crazy and they'll just keep, and then they harass me on Twitter and Facebook and like, you know, I get it. I'm sorry you don't like the guest, but 99% of my audience like the guest. So suck a dick and I'm going to book them again now. You know, like some of these people are just crazy, but I go back and forth with the guests. When I start getting too many of the hateful people, you know, and it's always some petty nonsense, axe to grind garbage, you know, and there's no perfect guests, right, Terry? I said some wacky stuff 20 years ago, probably that somebody could dig out and use against me.
Oh yeah.
Who knows? Like, you
Trust
know.
me. Yeah. I mean, when you know, and there's some things that I've said in the past. I'm like, oh God, I can't believe I said that, because you kind of go past.
Yeah, you know what hit me? I did those replays and some of them were from 3 years ago. I couldn't believe how much I was cursing in those old episodes because I stopped doing that. And the reason I stopped doing that is because YouTube will demonetize you if you curse too much after the live stream. And so I wanted to take that excuse away from them and say like, okay, I'm not going to curse now. Now give me an excuse, because there's a real problem on YouTube, and you're going to experience it because you do some of the similar stuff that I do. Like, you can make a video like Kerry Cassidy saying this absolutely ridiculous, wackadoo, fake stuff, and you could be fully monetized. But if you make a video being critical of somebody like David Wilcock or Kerry Cassidy, you know, I made a video being critical of David Wilcock, who was telling people to take baths in their own piss to get superpowers. And the video got demonetized. I took it all the way up the chain with YouTube. I'm like, Team YouTube, you're monetizing this, because I did not curse in it. I was as professional as you can be when you're talking about somebody telling people to take baths in their own piss. And I successfully argued with them. His video telling people to take baths in piss is monetized, and that could be a health hazard. So I'm just being critical of him. You can't demonetize me. And they turned it on. They turned on my pennies, you know? So I stopped cursing a few years ago just to take the excuse away from them, or I try. Just, you know, you could throw a few in, but you can't be dropping. I was dropping F-bombs, and they're like, this dumb bitch, through the whole thing for 3 hours. I couldn't believe how much I used to curse. So it's funny, but it's good. You have to train yourself. You know, you're taking media classes. You got to train yourself to try to just say it, but don't say it with those 7 words, you know, like George Carlin, the 7 words you can't say on TV. Just say it a different way, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, and I really have been working at it. You know, coming from a comedy background, you know, I would say those words. You know,
in comedy, you can say whatever you want. You're gonna get somebody that's a comedian told me you get like, if he could tell the same joke but put the F word in it and get twice as many laughs, because the F word like punches it, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can overuse it, and then so it loses its punch. But, you know, there's some jokes that just aren't the same. It just isn't the same without the word. So, I mean, and not that you're relying on it to be the word, you know, like you shouldn't rely on a word like that just to be the punchline, but some things just don't work without it. You know,
I agree. You know what? I have a problem. I have a problem saying BS when I mean bull. You know what I mean? I have a problem because I sometimes you have to say this is bull. You can't say this is BS. It doesn't have the same effect. But I will say I'm glad that I took out most of the cursing, because it just takes, you know, YouTube is going to do whatever they can to squeeze every penny away from you that they can. And you have to give them no excuses. So for me, I said, I'm not going to curse then. Come up with another excuse to turn off my YouTube ad pennies. You know, I love it. But, you know, we're in controversial subjects. But one thing I noticed is that if you're a David Wilcock getting hundreds of thousands of views talking about controversial subjects like aliens or UFOs, you're fully monetized. But if you're a small channel talking about the same exact thing, especially from a critical perspective, your videos get demonetized. And they're going to have to address this, because there could be a class action suit against them or something, because I've been spreadsheeting this stuff, and I could show you all these examples of different content creators, all of which their videos get demonetized for being critical of these UFO grifters. But the grifters can be fully monetized, you know, like Third Phase of Moon. They're fully monetized. They've been caught selling fake videos like hundreds of times. They're fully monetized. I make a video being critical of them, demonetized. I'm not cursing in the video. I'm just showing how they fake things, demonetized, demonetized, demonetized. And you know, Terry, I talked about this before. Like, I had a job once where I worked at a computer repair shop, and I kept half of the ticket. So in other words, if you came in with your laptop and it cost $150 to fix your laptop, I fixed the laptop. I kept $75, and the shop owner kept $7. But every week I had to argue with this guy to get my money. You know, he was one of those kind of people. That's what YouTube is. You have to argue with them every month to make sure they pay you right, and they still get away with a lot.
Bad because, like, at first I've seen that a lot of my I post something and they go, okay, I got that little the yellow one, you know, like
limited or no ads,
yeah. So premium people, you know, whatever, you know, I don't know what percentage that is, but. And I have appealed a few of them, and I have most of the time when I've appealed it, actually I've won every appeal so far. But now this live stream, because Kerry Cassidy said the F word a few times, I might not, I might be affected, so I might not be able to like get this particular stream monetized.
Yeah. Well, you got to look at your analytics, and after every live stream, if they tell you they demonetized it, request the review. But here's the thing. 2 or 3 days after your video has been demonetized, suddenly they'll turn the ads back on, but all the views are done. So either way, they're making out great because they're squeezing every, dollar they can,
Yeah, that's why every once in a while, probably some of the people that watch my channel probably know I'll throw in a cat video in there because I'll do a cat video short just to like make money.
Yeah, or you know what? Sometimes people get angry with me. They're like, geez, your intro is like 5 minutes long. And I go, yeah, because you're not allowed to curse for the first 5 minutes or have anything off color. And then the other thing is, if somebody's reviewing it, they only watch the first 5 minutes. They're not watching a 3-hour show. So if you have anything spicy to put it in the middle, or, don't put it in the beginning.
Okay.
Anything that somebody would find offensive, it's so stupid. But I'm hopeful that some of these other platforms will take off. But, I don't think that, look, here's a perfect example. I've got a video from last week, a brief history of UFO whistleblowers, and they have restriction, ad suitability. It's still under review. It was broadcast last Thursday, and we're still waiting for them to review it. It's Sunday. All the views are done. So even if they turn it on now, I've lost all the ad revenue from doing that show. It's ridiculous. It's discouraging. I'm hopeful some of these others like Rumble will take off, but I've been on Rumble for a year and I only made $40 so far. So I'm not real hopeful on that end,
Yeah, I'm on Rumble now too. I like Rumble because I can say things more. I mean, sometimes I just like to have that freedom to talk about things than you do here on YouTube.
Yeah, you could. They don't care. You can talk about anything.
Yeah, but right now I have like 48 subscribers on Rumble. But my videos, my live streams have been doing pretty good, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes I get a lot of that.
When I stream, it does well. It's like
I notice live streams do better than if you upload videos there.
Yeah.
I just changed it, and every video that I upload there, I make it a live stream, and somehow it gets more views. I don't know.
It's kind of a pain in the butt though, because you have to like do that key thing,
that RTMP thing every day. Yeah.
It's not as
it's aggravating, and I don't understand StreamYard. Like, there's so many people using Rumble. Why wouldn't you make that automatic in StreamYard? They can. They just haven't yet. They keep saying they're going to. And I'm like, every day I lose 10 minutes of my life to set up the Rumble stream. Can you just get this done? I'm paying people every month, and I'm not the only person that wants that feature. Everybody streaming the Rumble is wasting 10 minutes a day, But that is what it is. Hopefully things will get better. I shouldn't complain though, because I have a lot of support on the show, and we have everything we need. I'm building a new set over here. And you know what I did? I went looking, Tere Joyce, at famous sets like Johnny Carson's and Jay Leno's set and David Letterman's. And I think I'm going to do that kind of a set, like me sitting at a desk and a couch next to me for guests, because we're going to have some in-person real guests. And we'll see how that goes, in addition to the, we normally do Zoom or Skype or StreamYard guests or, remote guests. But I'd like to have real people here. Oh, and there's something else exciting. Guess what I got, Tere Joyce?
What?
I got a lie detector machine. And I learned to use it very well. And I was trained on it by somebody who's very experienced with polygraphs. So I got a special chair, and I'm trying to get some spotlights and stuff. And we're going to do something here called the hot seat. So I can put people in the hot seat and hook them up to the lie detector and grill them. I think that'll be awesome segment. I'm going to get some women in here, some hot chicks, and like ask them how many times they like, I think it'd be great. It'd be great. That'd be a great show segment. Like, just hook some hot girl up and ask her like how many times she's done ass to mouth and stuff like that. I think it'd be awesome. Right? It'd be awesome. And it'd be like, the lie detector determined that was a lie. It'd be awesome. We're gonna do it. Yeah. I'm gonna have the hot seat here.
What if she says I don't remember?
Well, we'll have to give her a pass, and I'll just ask more extremely personal questions.
Well, I did ass to mouth like, I don't know, 10 times,
Yeah. And how many women count how many times they did ass to mouth, right?
Yeah, right. one, like do the little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm keeping it real classy here today. So.
Hey, that's why I like having you
But
on.
don't you think that's cool segment for a show called Truth Seekers? We're going to have a lie detector right here. And if we have in-person guests, we can hook them up. And it's pretty accurate. I've been playing with it. It's damn accurate, It monitors your breath, your skin, and your heart rate. And I think it's very accurate, and I get the charts live as the people are answering the questions, and then I can review them when they're done.
Pop Burger, this string took a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you can't offend Tere Joyce. For those that don't know, one time the comedian Carrot Top and his friend tried to double team Tere Joyce in a hotel room in Las Vegas. So you can't offend her.
LA, actually. Yeah.
Oh, it's Los Angeles. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, we were we were in we went to the Viper room actually.
Yeah, you told me this before. Yeah.
You know what was really exciting about it, though, is that Perry Farrell from Porno for Pyro was performing that night in there.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of big stars for a little place there in LA.
Yeah. So that was the better part of the evening. But yeah, he tried it.
Well, better than getting double teamed by Carrot Top,
Yeah, and then when I left, Carrot Top followed me out to the elevator, and he was like, it was like in a movie, like he wasn't wearing any pants, like he was full on, like, and I was trying to, get in the elevator, and he goes like, what about you and me? Forget him. What about you just you and me? And, I remember I just go, no, that's okay. I won't tell you.
No, that's okay. Thank you very much. Creepy comedian dude. Yeah.
It was in the 90s, Yeah. So, yeah.
Crazy times.
Carrot Top won me one time.
I'm gonna bounce on out of here. It's 1:15 a.m.
Yeah,
thanks. Me here. Yeah, I'm glad that I could come and hopefully we'll do this again, but not until after summer because I'm going to be busy with these damn meth heads. I mean, children that I have to deal with all day. They just never stop moving and asking for shit,
All that energy.
Oh,
that when you're little.
Yeah.
You just have a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
See, my cat's starting to, he's like, come on.
See, I should have forgot about kids and just had more pets. That's what I should have done.
Yeah.
These monkeys are rough, man. I'm the snack bitch, Tere Joyce. That's what I do all day. I'm the snack bitch, right? As soon as I get them one snack, they ask for some other shit, right? Oh, we didn't want Doritos, Dad. We wanted potato chips and dip. What? Now I got to make dip? We don't have any dip. Just eat the chips, you assholes. I don't know. Every summer I have a real tough time with it. I don't have a tough time when they're in school because it's only a few hours, right? But when it's all day and all night, yeah. All right.
Well,
yeah. I gotta get some sleep because those assholes will be up at 5 a.m. probably asking for breakfast. Oh, I don't want Captain Crunch. I want I want Pebbles or something. Yep. Yeah. All right, I'm out of here. You wrap up your show. Have a good evening, and I wish you the best of luck with your journalistic, pursuits there. I saw that didn't you get like a scholarship or something?
I did. I got a scholarship.
Praise the cash, free money.
I did. I got one of the bigger ones. I got a $3,300 scholarship. Yeah.
Yeah, good for
so
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't buy Coke and meth with that. Don't have a meth and Coke party. Pay for your tuition with that. Yeah. I saw that. Good for you. Especially, it's tough as you get older to go, I'm going to take on this huge new challenge. You're doing it. You're doing well doing it. And I wish you the best of success with your show as well.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. You have a good night, Terry. Bye-bye.
Good night, Stephen. Bye.
All right.
All right, you guys. I'm going to wrap it up here in a moment. Yes, I did get a scholarship. I'm super excited about that. I haven't shared that on YouTube yet. And I do start back at college again in August. However, here's my pitch here. I did create a GoFundMe like this weekend, because I was out of work for a while. I do tutor biology, anthropology at the junior college here. And I had like a month off of work, and that month kind of put me behind. And so I have a check coming in tomorrow, but I only started going back to work on the 20th. And so it's going to be a small paycheck, and it's not going to cover my rent. And because of that, I have created a GoFundMe. I'm going to share it really quick. And I've gotten my first few donations, but I just want to throw this out here. I'm going to put it in the chat. But I did do the GoFundMe, and you know, like I started it out with I'm 61 years old and in college at the same time, which means I can get a senior discount at Denny's, and I have a student ID to ride the bus for free, which is like the this is the lead to an article that was published on the Rampage, and it just kind of tells my story, but just to kind of let you guys know of some of the stuff that I've actually done and contributed in school, so you can see the body of work that I have done in terms of my journalism. I just want to play this video really quick. This is I actually captured this protest. I was invited to go to the junior college journalism conference in San Francisco this year as one of the students that was asked while I was running for the Rampage. And so I just want to let you know that, show this to you because I think that I'm a person that's worth investing in. And I just need to kind of like make ends meet until my scholarship comes in. It won't come in until August. And then I also have Pell Grants and loans. And then I'll have a more solid paycheck in August too as well, because I'm tutoring all this summer. So matter of fact, I have to go soon because I have to finish my lesson plan for tomorrow. But I just want to play this. I think this particular protest was a protest. It was Palestinians. It was a protest against genocide in Palestine, and I just happened to capture it. I took the footage with my, one of the classes that I had in my college was that we learned how to do mobile media editing, because I am a digital journalism major, and believe it or not, a lot of the news broadcasts that they even air are shot now from just a cell phone. That's how good this little device is right here. So I shot this on this cell phone, and then we entered this into one of the contests. It was a 3-day weekend, and another student actually did the editing. And so I just want to play this here if you guys haven't seen this on my channel at all.
My name is Wasim Haj. I'm with the Arab Resource and Organizing Center based here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Today we are here to stand against the escalation of Israeli violence of both settlers and Israeli military against Palestinians in Palestine. In 2023 alone, over 60 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli military or settlers. This marks it as the most deadly year for Palestinians since 2002. We see massacres in Palestine happening in the cities and villages of Jenin, of Nablus, of Hawarra, and we're here to stand against the violence. We're here to say that the Bay Area does not condone and will not stand for the ongoing settler colonial occupation of Palestine by Israel. We support a free Palestine from the river to the sea in all of its parts.
Well, we really do want publicity, and we really do want to get out that there are many Jews in this country who do not stand behind what we think are atrocities happening in Israel.
Today we are here to test the Israeli treatment of the Palestinian people. The genocide that's going on, that has been going on for a long time, it's not new. This is just the latest round. And we are here to tell people that what happened in South Africa is going on now in Palestine. People will not be free until the Palestinians are free. That's my basic message. And we are all human beings. It doesn't matter if we're Palestinians, if we're Christians, if Muslims, Jews. We're all human beings, and our lives do matter.
Anyway, it's this kind of work is the reason why I want to be a journalist, because I feel that sharing information like this, shedding light on important issues, like is in that video, it matters to me. And so, I like filming, I like putting things together, and, creating awareness, and giving a voice to the voiceless. And so, I am kind of a little bit in a hard spot. And if you, could donate, or you want to, it would be greatly appreciated. I did get a 30-day notice on my apartment. Now it's not, it's not like an official eviction, and they will work with me. And I do have a social worker and everything like that. I'm pretty confident that everything's going to be okay. But I do at this point kind of need a little help. And so, and great, I just closed out my, I was going to link it in the chat, and then I actually closed the window out. But yeah, so I've been sharing this on social media, and I probably will continue to do this crowdsourcing until things get better. I have faith. I'm sure that everything's going to be okay, but I do need to ask for assistance. So here, where is it? Give me, copy it. Here, I got it now. Yeah, I was thanks Palm Burger on the. I was super thrilled to get the scholarship. That was the highlight. I mean, I had a birthday actually since I've been on YouTube, and so I found out that I had gotten a scholarship before my birthday. So that just really gave me. And it's called the ABC Journalism Scholarship. So it's from ABC News for broadcasting and multimedia. And you have to have at least a 3.0 grade point average to qualify for it. And you have to be a student in need. And we had to, write, about ourselves and everything. And so I did get award. They did award me the scholarship. So it really made me feel like I made the right choice. It's like when it's good to get a scholarship because you need the money to help you pay for your school and everything. But to get it means, to me, it was that little bit of incentive, like you're getting support for what you're doing. And so, yeah, I have a 3 I think I wrote it down. I have a 3.705 or 50. That's my overall grade point average since I started college, and part of that is a combination of when I went back to college in the past. Because when I first went to college, I was a theater arts major, but I've now done 2 years of college, and I've gotten 2 semesters. I got a 4.0. 1 semester I got a 3.5, and because I got a C in math. And then the other semester this last semester I got a 3.67. I got 1 B. But I had 15 units, and then I was tutoring. So, and then, I still did some of this stuff, but anyway, yeah, I mean, being the age that I am, and then, going back to college and then being able to do that well, I'm kind of proud of myself. I mean, I'm like, yeah, I love it. Going back to school has broadened just on a lot of different subjects. It's really opened my mind about a lot of things, and I would recommend it to anybody. If it's never like you're never too old to go back to college. You're never too old to pursue something or do something different. And I also did I did some stand up too. I actually I got up at one of the local places here, and it was good. So I don't know. I miss stand-up comedy. I do miss doing it. And I would like to start to do it more, but the lifestyle of going from city to city and, you know, and everything. It's just, I don't know. I feel that, I mean, comedy can be really healing. You know, I think it's important to laugh. I think it's a gift, right? I mean, if you can do it, you know, I feel like I should do it. But I also wonder, like, overall, I don't know, before I leave this planet, I just want to make a difference. I want to do something like, for example, like that video. I think that video has a good message. I want to do things that make the world better. Like, I want to contribute to society. That's what really motivates me. And I know that I'm a mass communication major. So communication is my thing. And I do like writing. So, I got to do more of it, actually. I should make myself, I have a blog, and it's notmyrabbithole.com, and I need to start writing more as well, and everything. So, but, oh, hey, Electro Pig! Hey! All right, I'm gonna say, you know what? You're late to the party, dude. I don't know what to say. I'm kidding. Electro Pig is really he's been on a lot of different shows that I've had, or a lot of different types of live streams and stuff that I've done. But I am going to say goodbye. You know, thanks for hanging out. I think this was a pretty good live stream, and I'll see you guys next time. And so I will play a little music on the way out from Epidemic Sound. And I hope you all have a great week next week.
My soul. Went up downtown. Went up downtown. Went up downtown. I want to save my soul. was walking out one evening, moon was rising high, headed for the riverside, around us fuss and fight.